This is actually one of the most powerful songwriting moves that I know. It levels this entire song up, makes a song hit so much harder. Hey, I'm Jules and I'm a singer, songwriter, and worship leader, and I help other Christian songwriters and creatives write their best songs so they can impact their local churches and communities through meaningful music. If you've already written a chorus and you want to make it 10 times more effective, you've got to try this songwriting strategy. I'm going to show you a real life example of this trick in action, and honestly, the first time I heard it, it gave me chills. So I think you're absolutely gonna love this tip. Every great song needs a hook, and for most songs, that's the chorus. It's the part people remember the most, they sing it the loudest, and they get it stuck in their heads over and over, and they just want to keep on singing it all day long. And the best choruses aren't just catchy though. They stir something up inside of you, and they say exactly what the listener didn't even know that they needed to hear. And every time the song returns to the chorus, it creates the sense of familiarity, which your brain actually loves because our brains are wired to seek and to recognize patterns. Pattern recognition helps us to anticipate what's coming next. So when your listener hears that hook in the chorus coming back around again, their brain feels this rewarding sense of satisfaction and like, I got this right. And that feels so good to the brain. Now, if you're a songwriter, you might already have a really good chorus, and honestly, it probably could stand on its own and likely be a great song. But if you want to scale the impact that your song is having on your listeners, then let me show you this simple technique that can take a good chorus and make it unforgettable. So here's the technique. Write a second version of your song where the words are 90% or even 100% the same, but the meaning is completely different. Same melody, same structure, maybe even the exact same lyrics, or mostly the same lyrics. But by the time your listener hears it again, something has shifted. The emotional meaning has changed. This is actually one of the most powerful songwriting moves that I know because it catches your listener off guard, but in the best way, of course. It works because of something called recontextualization. That just means that you're taking something familiar, a line, phrase, a chorus, and you're placing it in a new emotional or narrative context, and suddenly it hits different. So why does this work? Well, remember how our brains are wired to recognize and predict patterns? They also love being surprised when that pattern takes a slight detour from what they were expecting. Patterns feel safe, surprises keep us engaged. But here's the tricky thing. If a song gets too predictable, it just gets boring, right? And if it's too unpredictable, it becomes confusing or hard to follow. And the best songs, like the best stories, they do both. They teach your listener the pattern, and then they break it at just the right moment. It's the musical version of a plot twist. Think about your favorite movies. Right when you think you have it all figured out and you know where it's going, bam, plot twist. And now you're emotionally invested in a whole new way. Even in movies, there's a balance. If it's all like cheesy and predictable, it's basically a Hallmark film. And if it's all chaos and confusion and super complicated and hard to follow, you're probably watching like the most complicated Christopher Nolan movie that there is. Now, some people love both of those, and that's awesome. But I think the real magic happens in the middle, familiarity with a twist of surprise. So how do we actually pull that off in a song, and how do we do it well? Let me show you a few real-life examples of this trick in action so you can see exactly how powerful this can be.
I went running like a rebel, racked up debts I couldn't pay.
Let's start with a masterclass example from Brandon Lake's brand new song, Daddy's DNA. In the chorus, it sets up this perspective of the prodigal son. He has taken this wealth and inheritance that his father had given him, and he runs away from home and he spends all of it, has lost literally everything that his father has given him, and he's like, oh man, there's no way I can go back. If you've never read the story of the prodigal son, you gotta go read it. It's so good. This chorus in this entire song is about the prodigal son. So the chorus is from the prodigal son's perspective, and it says, I went running like a rebel, racked up debts I couldn't pay. I went dancing with the devil with one foot in the grave. How the heaven did I get here? Went and threw it all away. All I've given you is trouble. All you've given me was grace. And you feel like the full weight of those lyrics from the son's perspective, this ownership of failure and the gratefulness for grace. And honestly, it's really, really beautiful on its own, and it doesn't need anything else to be powerful. But in the final chorus, something does shift and it levels this entire song up in a way that I didn't see coming. So in this final chorus, it's not the son speaking about himself anymore. Now he's speaking about the Father, representing God, moving toward the Son. And it says, "And you came running like a rebel, paid off debts I couldn't pay. You went dancing with the devil, sent that liar to his grave. How the heaven did I get here, where every sin has been erased? All I've given you was trouble. All you've given me is grace." I listened to this the first time the other day and I was already so hooked because that chorus on its own is so good, right? And then it got to that final chorus and it honestly just gave me chills the first time I heard it because it's such a powerful example of recontextualization in songwriting. The chorus comes back, same structure, nearly the same lyrics, just some like slight shifts and adjustments, right? But now the meaning is completely transformed, and instead of focusing on the sin of the prodigal son, it's celebrating the Savior and the Father. And emotionally, that shift makes a song hit so much harder because it beautifully reflects how we can move from focusing on our own failures to focusing on God's grace and what He has done for us. And notice that the changes that were made in that final chorus are not like huge dramatic adjustments. They are small, subtle shifts that help you to look at that chorus that was written and see it in a brand new way. The next example I'm going to show you is an even simpler way to start implementing this technique into your own songwriting. As a singer-songwriter, I know firsthand that sharing your songs can feel super intimidating, and it's not always easy to do. So I wanted to find a way to make this a lot easier for one, but also really engaging and fun, and that's exactly why I helped to co-create the song bracelet by Anthem Threads. This is my song bracelet here, and all you have to do is take your song bracelet and tap it to your phone, just like this, and it will automatically start playing your song on the platform of your choice. Mine is going to Spotify, and it's my most recent single called Would Have Stayed. You can stream that everywhere. It's like a fun jazz song. Think tap pay, but instead you're instantly gaining new fans of your music where they can save your song on the spot. And in a competitive music industry, that is super powerful. And whether you're playing shows, networking, or just want a creative way to promote the music that you've poured your heart and soul into, this makes it so incredibly easy and honestly a lot more exciting. You can customize your own song bracelet with the song that you want to share. Just go to anthemthreads.com and use code JULES5 for $5 off each song bracelet. And if you haven't released your own songs yet, just grab a song bracelet with a song that's been encouraging you lately, so it's always just a tap away. There's a link in the description below so you can start customizing your own song bracelet. Alright, now let me show you a more personal example, one of my own songs called Christmas Boxes Live On.
Oh, it lights up his whole face, and I know without a chase of a doubt.
This song is about my grandma passing away and how my grandpa gave me her Christmas decorations years after she was gone. And in the first verse and chorus, I'm at my grandpa's house receiving these boxes full of decorations, and it's emotional, but it's meaningful. And the lyrics say it lights up his whole face, meaning my grandpa. He's watching me receive these tangible memories of her, and it brings him joy in the middle of all this grief. But in the second verse and chorus, I am back at my apartment unboxing them on my own, and the lyric changes with just one word. Now it says it lights up my whole face. That's it, just one word change. But the emotional shift is huge. Now I'm holding the memories, and I'm the one being comforted. And the story moves forward, and so does the meaning. And that's the beauty of recontextualization. What I want you to realize is you do not have to rewrite your entire chorus. Maybe you just need to change one word or a couple small shifts. You just have to write it in a way that grows with the story that you're telling.
What if that was Jesus and I just walked away? What if I rejected the name above all names?
And one more example for you, and this is from a song I wrote when I was just 14 years old, literally like half of my life ago, and it's called What If That Was Jesus. It was on my very first studio album, Dance in the Rain, and it's about seeing someone in need and asking the hard question, what if that person was Jesus? The first verse paints the scene and says, walking through the city streets, I see a man and our eyes meet. Lying there with a box for a bed, he said, will anybody love me? I closed my eyes for just a moment and kept going on my way. And then the chorus asks this convicting question and says, what if that was Jesus and I just walked away? What if I rejected the name above all names? Think of the change that I could make if I just stopped to show him that he's loved, because what if that was my Jesus? But at the very end of the song, the chorus returns, same melody, same structure, but this time the story flips. I closed my eyes for just a moment and I walked straight his way. What if that was Jesus and I just walked his way? What if I accepted the name above all names? Think of the change that I could make if I just stopped to show him that he's loved, because what if that was my Jesus? It's the same chorus, but now it's an alternate scenario where I do choose to stop and love like Jesus. And that small lyrical shift made the message of the song so much stronger. Again, I was not going and changing my lyrics dramatically. These are like small one-word changes. Instead of rejected, I said, what if I accepted the name above all names? Very similar, just one different word swap. And what if I walked straight his way instead of walking away? So now it's your turn. If you've already written a chorus, try this technique. Look at the lyrics and ask yourself, what if I brought the same chorus back later, but let it mean something different in a brand new context? You don't have to change much. Sometimes just a few words or a subtle shift in perspective is all it takes to add a whole new layer of emotional depth. And I would love to hear what it is that you come up with. Seriously, drop a comment and let me know if you've used this technique before or if you plan to use this after watching this video. I am here cheering you on as you write your own songs. Now, if you're thinking, this is great, but I haven't even written my chorus yet, and I'm not really sure what to write about, don't worry, I've got you covered too. Just check out my video called Finding Inspiration. It's full of practical ideas to help you come up with honest, powerful song concepts that your community will truly connect with. I'm going to link all of that below for you so you can find that video. I've also linked some helpful resources for you below to support you on your songwriting journey, so make sure to check those out. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. See you in the next one.